Just over 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by glistening blue oceans. Sylvia Earle, an influential marine biologist and explorer, describes it as the blue heart of this planet. We know more about the oceans than we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the oceans. Less than 5% have been explored, yet these watery worlds are responsible for the regulation of our climate and for the very air that we breathe. If everyone here could concentrate on their breathing for just a few moments. What if I told you that 1 in every 2 of those breaths that you are taking is made by marine phytoplankton, which are microscopic algae in the water? Would this make people care more, or is the ocean still a mysterious place, wild and untamed, that largely remains out of sight and out of mind? These are the facts, along with my love for marine life, that drew me to Sea Shepherd. The organization has been in operation since 1977 and was founded by Captain Paul Watson. Sea Shepherd has grown in size and has become more effective over the years. Now we have 8 ships all over the world on various campaigns to save marine ecosystems. We use non-violent, direct action tactics, and in recent years we have begun working closely with Interpol and various governments of developing nations. We work closely with these organizations to help protect their marine sanctuaries and to help patrol the national parks from illegal fishing operations. Sea Shepherd uses its ships to confiscate any illegal fishing gear, which ultimately saves lives. Our most high-profile campaign has been the Antarctic anti-whaling campaign, and these campaigns have been more and more successful year after year. For example, we won a landmark case in the International Court of Justice in The Hague. They ruled that Japanese whaling operations in Antarctica was in fact illegal. Over the 9 years of being involved with Sea Shepherd, I have been on 6 campaigns, both on land and at sea. I've seen the most pristine and remote ecosystem on the planet, where monumental icebergs mark the beginning of an epic continent shrouded in ice, where animals do not live in fear of humans, and where the oceans have taken the life of many. I've been to Taiji and to the Faroe Islands, where I've seen horrific brutality towards dolphins for both for both captive dolphin facilities and bogus traditions. I've seen sharks being culled here in Western Australia because they are labelled man-eating monsters that are lurking off of our coastline. On other campaigns, Sea Shepherd crew have documented and pulled hundreds of kilometres of nets and long lines from our oceans. These indiscriminate death traps kill millions of marine life each year, along with overfishing and bycatch. The crew of the Bob Barker and the Sam Simon have been responsible for saving thousands of lives by removing ghost nets and discarded fishing gear. They have also been successful in shutting down the 6 most notorious poachers in the illegal fishing vessels that operate outside of Antarctica. These poachers are catching Patagonian toothfish. We have some awareness when it comes to the issues I've mentioned, but there is one massive threat that our oceans face each and every day. It's a silent and unremarkable killer that can be found in almost every aspect of our lives, and that killer is plastic. The humble drink bottle and plastic bag have turned into serial killers, and our plastic footprint can be seen in every beach and on every stretch of coastline on this planet. All of the plastic that we have ever created still exists, whether it be in landfill or floating around in the oceans. According to scientific data, there is 8 million tons of plastic going into our oceans each year. To make that number comprehensible, it's the equivalent to having 5 grocery bags of trash on every foot of coastline around the world. Talking of plastic bags, did you know that they are not vegan? Beef fat is used in the standard shopping bag that you'll find in Coles, Woolworths, IGA, and many other supermarkets. This beef fat makes the bags more slippery and stops them from sticking together. Over 50 billion plastic drink bottles are used each year, and 5 trillion particles of microplastics float in our oceans today. These numbers are almost too big, unfathomable, and latest research has found that juvenile fish are now consuming microplastics, much like binge-eating junk food addicts. Midway Atoll is one of the most remote and isolated places on this earth. Even here, our impact can be seen on the natural world. Lasane albatross chicks are accidentally being fed plastic that has been scooped up by their parents on foraging trips. Almost every chick on that rookery has been fed plastics. 40% of marine mammals and a whopping 86% of turtles have had plastic found in their guts. And if current projections continue, by 2050, 99% of all seabirds will be ingesting plastics. Even in the most remote places on Earth, our plastic trash can be found. This is really, really scary. There are gyres of plastic pollution in the ocean, places where the swirling currents draw the plastic in to denser and denser concentrations. In these places, there is 6 times more plastic in the ocean than zooplankton, which is the microscopic animals that live in the sea. The oceans are becoming clogged up in a plastic smog. More than 180 species have been documented consuming plastics, including our corals on the famous Great Barrier Reef. The statistics are shocking, and the sheer scale of the problem has only just begun. This plastic ends up in the food chain. The toxins found in plastics are magnified in a process called bioaccumulation. And this doesn't just poison the animals living in the sea, it also gets onto our dinner plates. Humans are now consuming toxic chemicals from plastic through the fish that they are eating. The amount of PCBs and heavy metals in the ocean is terrifying. Members, including myself, of the local Sea Shepherd Perth chapter were horrified by the plastic problem. So we started to run small beach cleanups. That was less than a year ago now, and we have a national campaign to combat the plastic pollution and marine debris. Sea Shepherd Australia has 15 teams around the nation working together to remove plastic pollution. So far, we have removed 210,000 items, 2010 items of plastic pollution from beaches around Australia. The Sea Shepherd Marine Debris Campaign aims to empower its volunteers and members of the public to come and join us for a beach clean-up, at least once a month. This direct action approach is immediately removing the harmful debris from the environment. We engage and educate people who may not fully understand or be aware of the impact that their plastic habit has on the oceans and the animals that call it home. Community engagement initiatives and education are the key to this campaign. We collect and record the rubbish we find on the Australian Marine Debris Initiative database, which scientists have access to. From this, they can determine hotspots for rubbish and what it is primarily made up of. 2 lucky Sea Shepherd volunteers, who happen to be my parents, were on a scientific expedition in the Arctic with 5 gyres. They were learning about and researching the abundance and distribution of microplastics in this remote area. Devastatingly, they came across numerous plastic items during their trip. They have learned that plastic production and incineration companies are working together, which aims at stopping recycling initiatives so that they can make more money out of the raw plastics that they are selling. Our local chapter has a small boat called Bruce the Rib, which we use as a clean-up and patrolling vessel. The majority of the rubbish that we find is discarded fishing gear, bait bags, cigarette butts, single-use food and beverage containers, along with plastic bags and straws. We have often had to rescue entangled wildlife which have had hooks embedded in their skin. 5 gyres and Bruce the Rib crew are collaborating, gathering data on microplastics as part of a citizen science initiative. To do this, we use an equipment called a manta troll. This is an ultrafine mesh net that resembles a manta ray. The net skims the surface of the ocean, and with this net, we are collecting microplastics in order to collect data on plastic pollution in our oceans. Sea Shepherd is all about grassroots activism. We are a global movement to protect marine ecosystems. So far, our marine debris campaign has been very successful. We have reached a far wider audience, and our beach cleanups are becoming more and more popular. Sea Shepherd Perth is also available for school talks. Participating in a beach cleanup is so easy. It's something we can all do, and it's something we should all commit to. It makes a difference, not only to our lives, but to the lives of countless sentient creatures that call the oceans home. We have a moral obligation to kick our plastic habit to the curb and say enough. Every day we have the ability, through our lifestyle choices, to positively change the world around us. There are options available. There are cities and countries all around the world that are taking a stand against plastic pollution. Morocco is the second biggest consumer of plastic bags after the USA. Yet this North African country has recently banned plastic bags, making them illegal. And the city of San Francisco has also been declared a plastic bag-free zone. South Australia has led the way with the Cash for Containers scheme, which gives people incentives to recycle their plastic beverage containers. Good news is that Western Australia will also be initiating this scheme. As part of the Marine Debris campaign, we partnered with Keep Cup to sell Sea Shepherd branded reusable coffee cups. Stainless steel drink bottles and tote bags can also be purchased from us here today to help you reduce your plastic footprint. There really is no excuse for single use. A plastic bag can be replaced with a canvas bag. A cup can be changed for an eco jar, which is made of glass. Metal and glass straws are another awesome reusable option. Every day, we can follow the 3 R's rule, which is reuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. These steps will help you to reduce the plastic pollution that is clogging up our oceans. If you want to volunteer with Sea Shepherd, please come via our table after my presentation. Even by turning up just once a month to our beach cleanups, you are taking direct action to make our oceans healthier and safer for all species on this magnificent planet. Sea Shepherd Perth has an event coming up. An ocean conversation will be held over 2 nights at the WA State Theatre. Here you can listen to the stories from scientists and conservationists whose life work it is to protect and to understand the world's oceans. One of the speakers, Richard Fitzpatrick, has worked with David Attenborough filming the new Great Barrier Reef series for the BBC. This really is a night not to be missed. Other speakers include Jeff Hansen, who you've just seen in that video. He's the managing director of Sea Shepherd Australia. Tim and Eliza Waters and Merhead are 2 very inspirational photographers and filmmakers who have been on numerous campaigns with Sea Shepherd. Peter Hammerstead, captain of the Bob Barker, will also be there, and he will be telling you all about his stories from his long-term involvement with Sea Shepherd. If you are interested, please take note of this slide. You can take a quick picture on your cell phone, or you can come to the table after this, and we'll give you the details then. There is still so much worth fighting for. There are magnificent natural events that still occur. The ocean is still a wild and untamed place that is full of dynamic and exciting ecosystems, where every conceivable size, shape, color of life is existing. The ocean must be our top priority if we are to continue as a species living on this planet. The ocean is the lungs of all living creatures on Earth. And as Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thanks.